Hello everyone, it's time for a late June update. What's going on in the garden? We have volunteer tomatoes. These volunteers started 3 years ago and they continued ever since. These are cherry tomatoes. Looking forward to those blooming because I love to put them in the oven. I like sun-dried tomatoes. I also like cherry tomatoes in my salad, and so does my husband. And these onions, now they're doing fine. I put coffee grounds around them to give them nitrogen. And these are red onions, and I believe they're going to be huge. Look how thick they are right now down at the bottom. So this could be eaten as it is, the whole thing. The whole thing can be eaten once you wash it, the bulb and everything. But I want the onion bulbs to get bigger. So I trimmed these down in hopes that it would give more energy to the bulb. Then I found out onions need the greenery. There's something, it's science behind it that increases the size of the bulb. But you can trim them. You just can't take all of the green down. So I did leave some of the greens. One of them I cut really short. That might not be a very big bulb. And I left some. So I'll do it like an experiment to see how well they do. So they do kind of get out of hand, and this is probably looks like a hot mess to some people, but I don't really care because these are edibles. We are looking forward to these. And occasionally I just come and I pick these as chives, and they are delicious. Another edible is this dill. And it's already seeded off, and it can reseed all at once, fall on the ground and create volunteers. That's fine with me. This is very edible and delicious on fish and potatoes. You can put it with butter and create butter sauce that's wonderful on corn. Corn with the dill butter sauce is delicious. Now we're talking about peppers, and these haven't fruited yet, but these are green peppers, and they've gotten taller and they've got more buds on them since I planted them here in May. And they're looking pretty good and healthy. So I'm looking forward to those peppers. Green is bitter, but in this case, the older it gets, the better it tastes. Because if you let the bell peppers stay on the plant and let the sun and soak up all that sunlight for weeks on end, they will eventually turn yellow and then orange and then red. And that's when they taste the best, the sweetest. So these improve with age, just like in most cases, the tomatoes do too. We have some tomatoes that are growing. Oh my goodness, look at that. They're green right now, but they will eventually ripen and they will get larger, I hope. These are celebrity. My husband picked out celebrity tomatoes this year. I'm anxious to try these. This plant will produce more, I hope. It doesn't have a whole lot of flowers. That concerns me. So hopefully we'll get some more flowers blooming here. I see some tiny little buds that need to come on. Now, too much rain and not enough sun might be the problem there, but I do see some buds. I hope to see more tomato flowers because that means you got a tomato that's going to grow there eventually. So these have really grown since I planted them in mid-May. They've really taken off. Now with the sunlight and the hot temperatures, not the rain, but the hot temperatures, so occasional rain's fine, these should flower off and produce more tomatoes. And I will eventually fertilize these with Miracle Grow and or bone meal. I've been doing it every year for years now, and we've had good harvest every year. Let's move on over here. We see the lettuce, romaine's back here. I planted it close together because the direct sow, and it's hard to separate them. You can do that inside when you do starter plants. Well, I don't do starter plants. I don't have the right lighting system in the basement, and I don't have enough light in the living room or window ledge that's large enough for plants. Therefore, I just plant my greens close together, which I don't have a problem with that. Some people do like the crunchiness of lettuce, but this was planted in early April and it has really taken off. Now it's at a stage where it's on the bitter side. That doesn't bother me. I put it in pesto. Pesto is amazing. Also, you can use this for a lettuce cake, a lemon lettuce cake that I make, and I'll make that pretty soon in a video, I hope. We've got some more onions growing here. These actually look healthier than the others. I believe I have more compost in the soil. I'm very frugal. I don't like to spend too much money on compost. And we see what happens, you know. A lot of times they turn out pretty well. I had plenty of good rich soil over there. Probably should have put more compost. Right here I plan on growing cucumbers. Haven't done it yet. I need to plant some seeds real quick before early July. It's best. Okay. Well, the kale is very healthy. It's really grown. This just, oh, it's good for so many dishes. Just to eat in salad or to cook in soup. And it's great for kale chips. The garlic scapes are ready for the picking. This one is starting to bloom. I'm going to pick these because they are very delicious. We're running low on minced garlic. I'm very frugal. I don't want to buy minced garlic because I know I have garlic that's going to be harvested soon. So I'll just use those garlic scapes in place of garlic in my cooking. Okay, over here we have potatoes. These only cost $1.16. They were little seed potatoes, real small. And now look how big they are. I planted these in early April. The plants are looking really healthy. I hope the potatoes and the roots and everything are healthy, and I hope they produce lots of potatoes. I believe that harvest will be in late July or early August. The raspberries are pretty small this year. They're not as big as I would have hoped. These were volunteers from the neighbor's yard. She did give me some that a couple plants that I planted and I fertilized. Now these berries are bigger, so fertilizing does help. The blackberries, my daughter was here yesterday. She picked up her birthday gift, and she came out here. I gave her a bag of frozen strawberries, the strawberries that we grew in the garden, but she wasn't satisfied. She came out here. She said, I want to make a pie, a mixed berry pie. She came out here. She picked a bunch of blackberries. Here in this area, and with lots of full sun, the blackberries come on early. But my grandmother's blackberries, because she had some shade, it was by a pond out in the country near Newark. Actually, it's Croton, Ohio. And her blackberries, some of those, they didn't produce until late July, early August. But Dan doesn't have any shade here. It's full sun. So these blackberries are coming on early. They're looking okay, but I hope they do better because I really had so much hope that they would. And so it looks like we might have some kind of problem or disease with the blackberries. I don't know what that could be. But my daughter picked several of them that were really good. Now we have the cucumbers coming on. I have another place I showed you earlier where I need to plant some seeds along the fence line. So I'm excited about these cucumbers. And they were slow in coming and in germinating, but they finally did. We have soybeans. Now these have been doing very well. I've never grown them before. I'll be eating them at the baby stage, and I'll be preparing them, cooking them, or blanching them according to recipes. If you have a recipe for me, that would be great. Edamame is that what they call it? I'm really looking forward to this. They are so healthy. All right, we have some zucchinis growing here. And I saw one this morning, but I could hardly get a good view of it because the leaves were blocking it. Let's see here. It's down there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Oh, I hope so. Okay, so the zucchini is doing great. I've always had good harvests. Most years are pretty good. Last year was a great harvest. We had some really big ones. I'm hoping for the same thing this year. The plants are doing well. I just hope that the fruit, the zucchini, survives and doesn't get diseased or dry up and die or anything. But I think that this is being well shaded by the leaves, because in some cases, some of the leaves dropped off last year and some of them dried up. Some of the zucchinis dried up and died, and I hope that doesn't happen this year. Whatever you know about zucchini, please let me know. It's a summer squash and I just love it. Okay, and we've got, finally, I was worried about these. These are butternut squash plants, and this one's doing great. I had to cover it with a colander to protect it. Now it's at a stage where the, I don't know if it was bugs, squirrels, or birds, they were munching through the leaves. They didn't eat all of it, they just munched through them. But they stopped doing that. But I still keep the smaller ones covered at night. Look how tall the corn is already. So this is a blessing. If you're growing corn, please let me know, especially if you're in the city, because I find that very interesting. A lot of people think, well, it's not going to turn out. What's the point? Well, it can, let me tell you. Fish emulsion. I don't buy that because it's expensive. I just, I eat sardines in the summer on purpose, so I can use the juice from the sardines to mix in with the bone meal when I fertilize it with water. And last year it did great. I'm hoping this year it does great. Now we'll talk about the flowers. These are tiger lilies. I love these. I grew these at my house years ago. And Dan, he's had these tiger lilies here ever since he's been here. So who knows how long they've been here? Over 25 years probably. The next flower I want to show you is one of my favorites. Black-eyed Susans. They work wonders in the garden for pollinators. And this variety right here I planted 3 years ago, and it's doing very well. It reseeds every year. This one reseeded from, about 6 years ago. Look at that. Beautiful. What a blessing. Praise the Lord. A butterfly close up. Oh, that was a blessing. Right behind me are the daisies. I've got to show you these. The wind is blowing. We might have a storm. We might have more rain. That's fine with me. I won't have to water them, save on my water bill. But let me show you these daisies. We have masses of daisies, and I haven't planted daisies. It's been 5 years ago. I got a free pack of seeds from my mother-in-law, my late mother-in-law, and I planted them a couple places out front also. They got really tall. And these just took off and propagated. And they attract a lot of the smaller insects, the sweat bees and the flies. But they are beautiful outside, but you put them in a vase, they don't live very long. I love to see them outside in masses. And then we have the lavender. The bees just love it. The honeybees just love it. And they're all over it right now. I don't know if you can see one. It's hard to get one close up, a bee. But it smells so good. You should always have a lavender plant near squash and anything that needs pollinated. It works wonders. The bees, they go from the lavender to zucchini squash blossoms, and that's what helps keep them, that's what pollinates them. So it's important to have flowers in the garden for that reason. One more flower, and that's the cone flower. I planted this last year. It was the end of the summer, and this was marked off 50%. I believe it was 50% at Oakland Nursery. And it's a red cone flower. I actually forgot I bought this, and I was surprised that it came out red because I planted a yellow one here 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, and this is just taking off. It's going to be bloomed soon too. Thanks for watching today. I'd like to show you more. The morning glory closed up because the sun is out, and now it's later in the afternoon, and I had hoped to capture that on film for you. I believe there might be a picture on the introduction where I played the music. Please let me know all your garden tips, any comments you have. Please express yourself to me and where I can improve. I would love to improve on this garden. And I hope I've inspired you to spend time out in the garden and embrace nature, growing plants that bring you joy and happiness, and something good to eat too. Blessings to all. See you on the next one.